Hey guys, good morning. Happy Monday. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Let me go ahead and set up this room real quick and then we can get started. So it's 6:20 right now. We got about 10 minutes till market open. I just want to get all this stuff out of the way and then we can knock this out and start with our analysis. So let's see. All right, looks good. All right, cool. Solid. Maybe this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Oops. All right. All right. All right. So I think looks good right there. Let me just make sure everyone's in the room real quick. You guys, morning, happy Monday. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. I'm gonna go and set up the room real quick and then we'll get started. People are making their way in right now, so let me just finish allowing people into the room and then we can get started with our analysis for the day. So today is Monday, December 6th. It's 6:22 right now. Market is opening in about 8 minutes. So we got some time. No real rush, but we're definitely gonna take a look at everything and get a full idea of like what's going on in the market today. So let's see, people are still making their way in. All right, looks good. So there's this one entry that was available right now off of this 1 minute high low. Obviously you can see the high was right there. Price broke above it. I was thinking about taking it, but it was so close to this Asia high right here, which so I didn't take it, but it would have went to full TP pretty nicely right there. Today's Monday, so I'm going to be a bit careful, obviously, with the market, everything fully reopening for the week. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, everything looks good. All right, guys. So good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. Kicking it off for a new trading week. I guess this is considered December week 2. December 1 started last week, but this is, the first full week of December. Last week was NFP. This week, let's see if there's any news today. Let me just refresh this. Looking at today, we have no news really. So the market might be a little slow today. There's news at 1:30, which is some Austin news. We also have some JPY news at 3:30, but nothing really this morning aside from the Eurogroup meeting. So yeah, I mean, today might be a little slow, which is okay. Other than that, I think this week we have some news tomorrow, not really much high impact. We have news on Wednesday, JOLTS job opening, so that's going to be high impact. Crude oil inventories, 10-year bond auction. Thursday, unemployment claims, 30-year bond auction. Other than that, yeah, I mean, everything looks pretty fine. Looks like we have heavy news on Wednesday and we have heavy news on Friday for CPI and core CPI. Other than that, looks like this week might be pretty smooth, if not kind of slow, due to the low news. So it might be a good week for us to catch like pretty solid moves. But I mean, we'll see what happens as the week continues to progress, because we're not sure if there's going to be like new COVID news or anything like that that might pop up. There probably is going to be, because now there's more cases popping up around the US. So we might see some COVID stuff happen. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it for now. Looking at all of the indexes right now, everything is bullish. So the Dow is currently up 276 points, S&P is up 24 points, NASDAQ's up 12 points, oil is up 1.9, and the 10-year bond is up 1.38%. So pretty much bullish across the board right now, pre-market. We'll see what happens when the market actually does open. But for the most part, everything was pretty much bullish. So Let me just check over here. Morning, Maria. Morning, Lisa. Morning, Peter. Morning, Miles. Morning, iPhone. Morning, Fahad. Morning, Arash. Morning, Ken. Morning, Lisa. Ken, did you get it figured out? So Ken says, I think you might have issues with your audio, but it looks like you're good now. Morning, Orain. Yeah, Duggan said currently in a swing long US 30 from 34,000 last week, targeting 1,000 points, but might close out if Biden gets on the mic later. Yeah, good idea, Duggan. Yeah, no, I mean, it's pretty solid. You pretty much caught it from like when it dropped down to this low over here, and then you wrote it up, which is nice. Yeah, I mean, it's a good move that you caught there, because the thing is, like, I personally wouldn't take a move like that because of how the market is. There's just a lot of news going on, like with COVID and stuff, especially with the new Omicron case, or I think it's Omicron. I can't remember what variant we're on, but with all the COVID news, it's really unpredictable where price is going to go. So I personally wouldn't take the risk, but I mean, good to see that you're making profit off that. Morning, Delmas. Morning, Professor. Morning, Fleming. Morning, everyone. Market is opening in about 4 minutes, so let's take a look at the fundamentals real quick. Obviously, fundamentals are currently bullish. You can see right here, all the indices and pretty much the entire market is pretty much bullish pre-market. Looking over here at retail sentiment, it's currently 53% long, so it's pretty neutral right now. The sentiment's not really going to help us very much today unless it really moves one way or the other, which it probably won't, since there's no news today, and the market is going to be a bit slower than usual for market open, unless something happens. Other than that, looking at the 1 minute over here, we have a bullish bias, and the reason for that is because price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. Looking over here at the 3 minute, same situation. Price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green, indicating that we have a bullish bias for the 3 minute. Looking at the 10 minute over here, same thing, right? We have a bullish bias. Reason for that is because price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. So looking across all these three time frames, 10 minute, 3 minute, and 1 minute, we have a bullish bias, and the reason for that is because price is above the pivots and the trend meter is green. So it pretty much gives that double confirmation of a bullish trend. Looking over here at the 1 hour, currently it is also in a bullish bias. So everything from the shorter time frames to the higher time frames indicates that we are in a bullish bias right now. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of minutes or so. Market is going to open in about 2 minutes. Once we have that, we can confirm the direction of price, with regard to fundamentals and whatnot. I think that's it for the highs here. I don't see any other highs here for any of these other sessions. Looks like price is pretty much broken past all of the previous session high lows. So it's going to be establishing new highs for New York session. All right, other than that, let's see what happens next. All right, market is opening in about 1 minute and 20 seconds. When the market opens, we'll determine what the fundamentals are looking like. If they're bullish and we have a strong green candle with a buy signal, then maybe we'll take the breakout for a buy. However, I'm not really interested in taking like crazy big trades right now, or any crazy risky trades, especially on a Monday. Generally on Monday, we got to be a bit careful. But we'll see. We'll see what happens shortly. So the market is opening in about 50 seconds. When the market opens, we'll confirm to see what direction fundamentals are moving. Once we have that confirmation, we can take a look at possible entries here. We don't have a buy signal, so we're currently looking for a buy signal. If we don't get a buy signal and price closes below, then the breakout might be for a sell instead of a buy. But we'll see what happens with the fundamentals when the market opens in 30 seconds. Let's see. Yeah, market looks a bit overextended, but we'll see what happens when the market actually confirms the direction. So we have a pending buy signal right here. We'll see if this closes. Market is opening in about 10 seconds now. So market will officially open in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Market's now open. So we got that buy signal right, or it disappeared. Let's take a look at the fundamentals real quick. Fundamentals are currently they are currently, hasn't updated yet, bullish 305 points. Looking over here at the stock index, it's completely green. So looking at that, we have that bullish bias that we were looking at this morning. Everything's pretty much green right here. This would technically be the breakout. However, this candle is way too big. I wouldn't take it yet. So if you guys are thinking about taking this breakout, this candle is just way too big. It's probably going to pull back a bit before it continues pushing higher. So I'm not going to take it. If you guys want to take it, you guys can, but I would recommend probably waiting for it to pull back a bit before you enter the trade, because it's probably going to pull back quite a bit before it swings back up. So what I'm going to do is, if I'm going to take it, I'm going to wait for that confirmation first before I decide to enter this. So this would technically be the breakout right here, guys, and you can see how it's pulling back. This is exactly what we anticipated. Generally, that's what price does when it pushes this far out. It's gonna have to pull back a bit, so I don't recommend entering it just yet. What you could do is, if you want to enter this for a late entry, you can possibly put a buy stop right there, and then write it up further if you want to do that. But I don't even think I'm going to take this because the candle is just way too big. And you can see as it pulls all the way back, this is exactly why I wouldn't have entered this trade here, because this pattern happens every time. If I see a huge candle like this off the breakout, I'm not taking it yet. I'm probably going to wait for the following one to confirm the move. Then, just enter it because it's going to pull back right away. So we'll see what happens next. And you can see how price pulled all the way back. So I'm not going to take this trade at all. Like I mentioned, we did anticipate this to pull back, and this is exactly why I wouldn't have entered. I'm not going to enter for a late entry, because the thing is, price is just, hasn't really chosen a direction yet. It just shot up, then it came right back down. This is the opening price right here. So price already came right back down to opening price, and it's probably going to swing back up, or it can swing back down. Who knows? Not necessarily going to test it to see where it goes. I'll be looking for some possible entries over here. So let's see. Paul said my indicators aren't working. So Paul, there was no changes to the indicator access, so you might not be logged into TradingView. Try logging out of TradingView and logging back in. That should fix it. There hasn't been any updates to the system in the past, I think, month or so. So you should still have access to it. You're most likely not logged into your TradingView account. Okay, so let's see. We're going to look for some possible entries here. This high right here was invalidated by the following candle. You can see it was a double rejection. So this is no longer going to be considered the high. We're going to wait for a new high to be established. Same with this low over here. This low has been invalidated by the following candle because it was a double rejection off at this point. So no high, no low right here. Same with this, been validated. This would be the closest low, but we're probably not going to follow that. We're just going to wait for a new high low to be established in the market. Once it's been established, we can follow that as a high low for the day. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here for me to look at. Currently, let's see. I'll put the strategies right here. Pretty much the ones that we're looking for. So let's put these in order, because if you guys remembered, I'm trying to confirm 3 different K2 strategies that line up here on the 1 minute for me to take it. I'm being pretty conservative with my entries so far, because we're getting close to the holiday season. Market moves kind of funky also because of COVID and whatnot. It's just been a lot of news coming out lately, so I'm being a bit more careful than normally. I mean, obviously, you can be as risky as you like, but for me, I don't like losing trades, so I'm going to be very cautious with the trades that I decide to take during these market conditions. So I'm pretty much putting all the requirements here for the strategies that I'm looking for today, which are pretty much the same strategies we always look at. See if there's anything else over here. So I'm going to mark up these zones right here for any possible snipe entries. There's a snipe that's currently running right there, if you guys can see. This one, I'll show you real quick. But it looks like this snipe came up pre-market, so all right. So yeah, this snipe over here came up pre-market, so it's not one that I would necessarily be looking to take, but I mean, obviously this technically be, I mean, there's a bunch of snipes here. So as you can see right here, there's a bunch of rejections off the pivot and structure. So all of these over here were actual snipes. And they already hit TP. So, I mean, it'd be too late to enter these trades, but this snipe over here, full TP. This snipe over here, full TP. And this snipe over here, full TP as well. So three back-to-back full TP snipes right there. Nothing after that, but I mean, there's one entry here, one entry here, one entry here. So 3 back-to-back snipe entries. That would have been a total of 1,500 pips for whoever's catching these snipes. But I mean, it's pre-market, so it's not one that I would be looking to take anyways. Other than that, let's take a look at the daily for the day. I'll mark this up over here. Yeah, I mean, so whoever took the daily on Friday, it hit full TP right there. So whoever caught it, I mean, you know, nice work. I didn't take the trade. I don't take the daily on Fridays, but if you did catch it, it would have hit full TP right there. We'll have this marked up right there. If we have another entry, then I'll mark it up, but I'm not sure if I'll be taking that because it's going to be a sell, and the fundamentals are currently very strong for a bullish for a bullish bias right now. So here's a new high that's been established. So we got a high right there, and then we got a pending low right here. If this, well, it's still a pending high until it confirms, but currently right now, that's the high, and then this would be the low if it establishes. It hasn't established yet, so we'll wait for it. So we're just establishing the highs, the high and the low for the session right now. If and when it does close, you can see right here, price is starting to reject off this Asia high right here. So what might happen is it might just bounce right back up from this point. It's rejecting right off the Asia high right here. So as you can see, this purple line right here is the Asia high from last night. Might reject off and then swing back up, which is perfectly fine. If that happens, and we'll have a new low that will be established right here. If it doesn't, I mean, it's cool. We're still going to follow it, whether it breaks below or whether it bounces right off it. All right, so price actually closed below it. Oh no, it didn't. So as you guys can see right there, it tricked people, right? It literally went right below it and then it bounced right off it. And now it came right back up. So you guys want to be careful in a market like this. This is Monday. This is typical Monday conditions because the market is just reopening from the weekend. You're getting a lot of orders from the weekend that are flooding in, and it's causing a lot of volatility. But it's gonna wean its way out like eventually with a matter of time. Because right here, this is probably all of the orders that were pending from the weekend. You know, because the market is technically closed. If you're trading the stock market was closed. A lot of people had their pending buy orders here. When they filled, then price obviously went to the upside because that's how we had this huge push right here for like, you know, 300 or so points. But then once the orders are filled in, it'll stabilize and it'll just find, you know, it's stable price point. So as you can see, price is just bouncing around a lot right now. And, you know, this is normal. So don't be worried about price moving like this. This is why I'm very cautious on Mondays, because I wait for price to move in its direction, and then I start to trade in that direction. Currently right now, price has created a range for the open. This is the high and this is the low. And here's price now ranging within here. So we have a big range right here. It's probably going to tighten to a smaller range. And then from that point, we'll catch it as it breaks out. I'm personally looking for a buy. So I'm looking for this to close above this point. However, I'm looking for it to provide a buy signal as well. So what I'm necessarily looking for at this point is I'm looking for price to come up slightly, come back down with a sell signal. And then when it comes right back up, that's where I want to take the trade. Because I'm looking for all of these three strategies to line up, meaning I want an entry that lines up with all three of these. So all of these three requirements have to line up for the same candle. Because I'm looking for those like for sure hits. I'm not looking for anything in between. I'm looking for like a guaranteed win for me, or close enough to a guaranteed win. Because this is usually a risky time for people to trade during the holidays. A lot of people don't even trade during the holidays, but we're still trading here because we know what we're doing, obviously. If you don't know what you're doing, it'll be risky, but if you know what you're doing, obviously, you have an edge in the market, which we currently do. Here's a high low, here's a pending high. So if this right here closes with 5 candles along the side, then this would be established as the new high. If it breaks and closes past it, then this is going to be considered invalidated. So we'll be waiting for that. See, Maddie just sent me some profits. Let me see what Maddie did over here. Oh, I see. Damn. So it looks like MFF is kind of off right now. So it looks like Maddie, he's in profit off his FTMO right now. So this FTMO, he made 834. And then this FTMO, he made 834 as well. But his copier this is MFF. I guess there's like the spread's like pretty crazy right now because he actually lost on MFF, but he won on the FTMO. Yeah, I know. I can see that, Maddie. This is why I kind of don't like MFF because it's crazy how much of a difference happens here, right? Because like his FTMO is like it's like night and day, guys. Like he's up 800 something off his US 30. I mean, off of FTMO, and then his MFF, he's like taking losses, which I mean, it's all part of the game, guys. It happens. This is why I usually don't. I'm really picky about which copiers I use and which brokers I decide to use because the spread might be wide or pricing might be off, or I mean, there's a lot of different things that can arise. That's why I only stick with FTMO. I'm currently doing MFF right now, challenge. I'm trying to see how well does it work. I mean, if it works well, then I'll continue to use them. If not, whatever, I'm giving them a try. It's not a big deal because I still have my FTMO. So, all right, price finally broke above here. However, I don't know if this is one that I would take because it's only going to fulfill 2 requirements or 2 strategies here. The pivot strategy, or not even the pivot strategy, it's a high low. So yeah, if this closes right here, I'm not going to take a trade. This would be a high low entry, but I find it to be a bit risky. It's too big of a candle. Plus there's a huge wick on the top side. So technically there's no entry there. It looked like it would have been an entry if it closed above, but it didn't close above, it closed below. So no entry off this point for any of the strategies. The high is just pushed a little higher. So there goes the high now. It's now pending. It's pushing up even higher and higher at this point. But yeah, there was no entry. So there's no entry off this right here because it closed below the previous high. And this is I mean, it's normal for a Monday. So it's just, it's a matter of being patient, waiting for the perfect entry. So this right here, this higher here didn't. Let me just move this back up here just to show you guys. So this is no entry here. This would have been an entry if it closed above it, but it didn't close above it. It closed right below it. So with that said, there was no entry off the high-low scalp. There's no entry off the intraday, and there's no entry off the pivot scalp either. So with that said, no entry off this, and we're just waiting for a new high to be established. Nice. Yeah. So Paul actually took the buy. He said he took the buy because the fundamentals went even higher. Yeah, no, I agree, Paul. That's probably a good call because you've been looking at the fundamentals as well. So the fundamentals pushing up like that, it gave you a better confirmation and confidence with taking a buy there. I still find it to be risky though, so I wouldn't have taken it. But I'm glad to see that you made some profit off that, Paul. Nice. Paul made $1,000 off that trade right there. So there's some instances where you can enter the trade on accident or enter it when prior to it closing, and you can still make a lot of profit off it. It's a little different with regard to risk and confidence, right? Because if your confidence is that high, you can take it. You can always take trades off the fly, but for me, I'm like super disciplined. Even if I see it as a really good trade, I'm still not going to take it unless all the requirements are met for the strategy that I'm applying. So definitely great catch right there, Paul. Caught that huge volatility push to the upside. Charlie said, Charlie said, why do you have to use a 60 lot MFF? So you got to use a 60 lot MFF, Charlie, because they're micro lots. So a 60 on MFF is equal to a 6 lot on FTMO. So you just increase it by, or you add a zero to the end, because I believe FTMO uses mini lots. So if you're using a standard lot size, it's just a 6. If you're using or no, if you're using a standard lot size, it'd be a 0.6. If you're using a mini lot size, which FTMO uses, it's 0.60. And then for MFF, it's micro. So you just add another 0 to it. So it's technically in standard lot size measurements, it's a 0.6. But if you're trading on certain brokers that measure and value them differently, then you just have to add or take away 0, depending whether it's a standard lot, mini lot, or micro lot broker. Yeah, Paul said taking smaller lot sizes to avoid losses. I'll increase my lot size when I reach back to break even. No, smart move right there, Paul. That's really smart for you to manage your risk properly. A lot of people don't manage risk properly. They keep using the huge lot sizes, even if they're in a drawdown, and it just puts them into a deeper hole. So great work right there. Smart thinking on your end to take that trade, and smart thinking to change your risk as well. Paul, let me refresh CNBC real quick. There's not really any news here that's causing price to push up like that, other than fundamentals pushing up super high. Fundamentals are currently at 468 points. Looking at the stock index, everything here is pretty much green for the most part. So yeah, looks like Home Depot is up 10 points. So Home Depot is up pretty heavy today. Amgen's up 8 points. United Health is up 5 points. Goldman Sachs is up 5 points. McDonald's is up 4 points. Apple's up 4 points. Visa's also up 4 points, along with Amex, 3M, Boeing, JP. So all the stocks here are up pretty heavy. So just looking at this right here, pretty much the entire, all the stocks here that are green outweigh the red stocks super heavily. So you can see all these red stocks, right? Or all these green stocks. The red stock, Nike's is down not even 1 point. Merck & Co is not even down 1 point. Microsoft's down 1 point. Salesforce is down 4 points. So looking at this here, the market looks pretty bullish to me. It's pretty obvious here. And it clears up a lot of confusion as to where price is likely to go. It's likely going to be bullish, but I wouldn't chase this move here, guys. What I would look for is I would look for some sort of retracement first, and then catch it as it swings back up, because it's going to confirm that bullish move, right? It's going to have to lose gas at some point. It's going to get gassed up right here. I would just wait. I never recommend anyone to chase the move like that, because if you do chase the move like that, odds are you're probably going to get the last, the last of it, and it's going to come right back down. So just be a bit patient. Rick over here locked in a total of 5,458. Nice work, Rick. Yeah, he took the buy right there, actually. Caught that all the way to the upside. I think E8 uses the same situation as MFF. They measured in micro lots. So an 80 lot is technically like an 8 lot, but that's kind of what it looks like. So nice work right there, Rick. A couple of people here locked into profit. CSUK as well, currently up 3,644. Nice work, CSUK. And Rick took another trade here. So Rick locked in a total of 6,114. Nice work, Rick. So yeah, you guys are all killing it this morning. Glad to see a lot of you guys locking in some pretty nice profits. I haven't taken anything yet, so I'm currently at 0 at this moment for the week, which is fine. I'm just being patient with these trades here. This is perfect. We're getting that drop back to for a sell signal right here. What I'd be looking for, I want this to close with the sell signal, so that when price comes back up, it'll provide a buy signal, and then it'll line up with these 2 strategies right here on top of the high low. And that's pretty much what I'm looking for here. I want 3 strategies, well, these specific 3 strategies to line up with the entry that would come next. Yeah, Maddie said this range is huge. I agree. This range is way too big right now. So I'm going to wait for it to tighten up a bit. It's probably going to tighten up eventually. It's just going to be a matter of time, because it can't keep pushing up like this forever. Obviously, you can see prices pushing down slightly. So it already had its bullish move right here. It's probably going to go into consolidation at some point soon. It's 650 right now, usually around 7, or basically 20-30 minutes after market open, it usually goes into consolidation. And you guys can see that from previous some previous data here too. So like yesterday was the 5th, I think Friday was like the 14th, the 4th, or the 3rd. So if you go over here to like Friday, you kind of see when that happens. So basically price right here, see how price kind of dropped for a bit? And then right here around 7 o'clock, price kind of started to range a bit, right? Right there. So after that bullish push, it's probably gonna go into some consolidation and then it'll probably break below or break above, you know, how it's moving today. And then go into another consolidation down here and then etc. So just keep in mind that the same patterns always repeat itself. You know, it goes from like a breakout to consolidation to breakout to consolidation. So right here was the breakout. It's about to be 7. So in about 9 minutes, probably gonna go into consolidation. And then from there, it'll break out to another direction. So it's just a matter of time. This is why I don't recommend entering anything here, because this is what would suck, right? What would suck here is you chase this move, you're in a buy, then price goes into consolidation. You don't know where price is going to go from that point. And then price can break out to the upside or to the downside, right? So you're kind of gambling at that point. If you get in at a bad entry and then price goes into consolidation, because price could either break out in your direction or it can break out opposite of you. You guys definitely don't want to be stressing out over that. See, Jay just sent me some profits too. Jay over here locked in a total of 2,262. Nice work, Jay. He had some pretty good wins right here. One loss, but he made it right back right here with these other wins. So definitely great work right there, Jay. Looking over here, Gene Vaughn as well. Gene Vaughn had a couple wins, a couple losses. Losses weren't too huge. He had 2 losses and then or 3 losses. Really small right here. This looks like it might have been an accident. But in total, he made a total profit of 913. Nice work, Gene Vaughn. Keep it up, guys. Keep it up. Yeah, I'm glad to see a lot of you guys profiting here. A lot of you guys are taking some of the more risky trades, but it's okay. You know, if you guys feel comfortable with it, you know, take whatever you guys feel comfortable with taking. For me, I don't feel comfortable taking anything risky because I like to stick to those trades that I know are like almost for sure. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This technically, if it closes above, it'd be a high-low entry, but I wouldn't be taking it because it's just one of these strategies. I'm looking for all 3 to line up. You know, the thing is, this will come eventually. It's just a matter of being patient and waiting for that perfect entry. Right here, you can see it didn't close above, so there's no high-low entry at that point. This is now going to be the new pending high. And this range is super wide. All right. So I'll put these right here. There's no previous session highs because it's so far out. The session highs are like way down here. So there's not going to be a session high anytime soon. I'll go over to this clean chart. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to mark up the specific times that we follow here. So like 6:30 is when the market open right here. I'm usually trading till 8, which is right here. Market up again at 9, right here. Then at 10 right there. 10, 12. All right, so we'll see like the different types of patterns that come up around here as price continues to push up higher or lower. You can see that price just continues to push up higher. I mean, obviously it's going to keep pushing up because the fundamentals are currently so strong. However, I'm not going to take the risk and chase that move there because let's see how many points is it up. It's up almost 500 points right now. So this is pushed up super high. It's probably have to come down at some point because these stocks here aren't going to stay green forever, right? Like Merck and Co already turned red, but it's not very red. It's not even up one. It's not even down 1 point. Nike, Merck and Co are not even down 1 point. Everything else here is pretty much green, but Verizon here might turn red because it's not even up by 1 point. Cisco might turn red. Intel might turn red. Walgreens might turn red. When these start to turn red, you're going to start to see price start to consolidate a bit and then might even reverse to some extent. Not really reverse, but more of a pullback. And you can see there goes a stronger pullback right there. So as we're waiting for these entries here, you know, the key is to be patient, not FOMO into these trades. I I think FOMO might be one of my worst problems with trading. Like even myself, I've been trading for so long, I still get FOMO because I see a lot of you guys profit here, and I kind of want to enter trades, but I already know that that's my problem. So once you guys are able to determine what's your problem with trading, you guys can zone in on that. So whenever I get FOMO, I just step away from the computer. I go do something different. Yeah. So don't feel bad if you guys get FOMO with trading, because I still get FOMO and I've been trading for so long now, about 11 years at this point. Trade psychology, your trade psychology problems never go away. You just get better at controlling them. FOMO has always been my issue from like the very beginning. All right, so we got a new low that's established right here. I'm going to go ahead and draw a low right there. All right, perfect. So we're getting prices starting to consolidate a bit. You can see that now it's kind of moving sideways at this point. It established a new low. So we're probably going to see it go sideways, and then eventually price is either going to break above or break below. Whatever direction it breaks out of. So what I'm looking for here, and I'm going to give you guys a heads up for like what I'm looking for. So for example, here price is going sideways. What I want is I want a sell signal to close somewhere below this area. And then when it swings back up above here with a buy signal, then it's going to line up with these two strategies plus the high-low scalp. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that perfect entry. I don't take very many trades a day. I take about maybe 1 to 3 trades a day. And they're usually only during New York session. But those trades almost never lose. So, I'm waiting for those perfect trades so that I can continue to catch these wins here and avoid losses whenever possible. It's just a matter of being patient. We'll see right here. If price doesn't break above, then it'll confirm this consolidation right here, which is normal. Price moves in a few different ways, right? If you look at current price here, or not current price, but just look at how price moves. So it's the same pattern every single time, right? Price goes into consolidation, it breaks out, consolidates, breaks out, consolidates, breaks out, consolidates, then it breaks out, right? So what do you think we're looking for here? We're looking for consolidation, because what happens after consolidation? A breakout, and that's what we want to catch. But it's about being patient. It's just waiting for those perfect moves to appear. You can see right here, price broke the high. Now we have the pending high is higher. So this high right here was never established. It was 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th candle. This is now going to be the pending high. So again, we're just going to be waiting for the confirmation here before we can take any of these trades, because we're waiting for it to go into consolidation. I mean, technically right here, it went to some like a slight consolidation within this area. However, I don't think it's very strong. Like we need a pretty long, consistent consolidation, like something like this right here, where then it breaks up. Because there's consolidation phases right here, but they're not very long, right? It was pretty much just a retracement, sideways movement, and then continued drop to the lower end right here. So it's fine. We're just gonna be waiting for this to confirm the consolidation phase, and then after that we'll be ready for the breakout. Because you can see right here too, just going back to previous candles right here, from like pretty much 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock until 6 o'clock. This is a huge consolidation phase, and then it finally broke out to the upside right there. Pretty much what I'm anticipating as well. All right, let's see. This is actually really useful, using these high lows to identify these consolidation phase. Yeah, I might be using this a little more, because like this is like super useful. Like for example, and price just broke above it again. So I mean, it's just gonna be a matter of us waiting for this to stop breaking out higher. You can see right here, this is like, now that you've seen it pass, this was the previous high over here. And you can see how it was consolidating at this point, right? Well, I mean, if we were to move it a little farther over, so if I just move this farther over here, you can see that price was kind of consolidating within that area. Price broke out to the upside, consolidated, and then it broke back up right here. But I'm not going to chase this move. I'm going to wait for it to confirm. See, someone's drawing on the chart. Let me try to delete this right here. Sorry, it's Gallo. I think Gallo's on his iPad. He's just scrolling around the chart. I know we had the same issue before. It's all good though, Gallo. I'll just delete it whenever you draw on there. Let me see. Or try to turn off your annotation tool off Zoom, Gallo, so it doesn't draw on the screen. You can kind of see him right here drawing. It's okay. We had the same issue last time. All right, so let me just move this a little higher. So what I think I'm going to do, so what I'm going to do next time is like when you get on the market, pre-market and wait for the market to open, I'm going to kind of see how price is moving in the prior session. Because I usually don't look back to what was happening pre-market, but like for example, right here, market opened at 6:30. You can kind of see that, you know, we could have kind of predicted that this breakout to the upside was going to happen. Because, you know, for example, if we were to rewind to 6:30 right here on market open, it's kind of hard to see from this point, but if you were to zoom out, you could see that, and if I turn a lot of the stuff off, so I think what I'll do first is I'll just clean up the chart and I'll just see how the market was moving prior to opening. And I think what I should do is I should probably see if there was a range, because for example, there was a range here, price broke above it, and then when price broke above it like that, we would have seen that price was probably going to continue to push up to the upside. I mean, I probably wouldn't take this breakout because the candle was so big, but if I had a confirmation of something like that, I would just let it pretty much run because it would come right back up right there. So, you know, every day we're like looking at new things to focus on. You know, the market's always changing. So you guys got to make sure that you guys stay relevant with regard to market conditions. Let me see. Hey, Gail, I'm gonna try to see if I can block you from drawing on the screen. It just keeps drawing on the screen. And I know you're like moving around on your iPad, but it keeps drawing on the screen over here. Let me see if I can find you on there. Gallo right there. Yeah, let me see if I can figure out. I don't know. Does anyone know how to like turn off annotations on here? I gotta figure out how to do this because we always have this issue sometimes. Let's see. Okay, there we go. There we go. I just changed it to the mouse. All right, Gal, that should fix your screen so you don't draw on it. All right, we're good. So let's see what we got over here. We got a new low that's established. This is perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. I want this to close with this invalid signal here, or it doesn't matter if it's valid or invalid, but I want a sell signal to come up so that when it comes right back to the upside, then we can catch it. So this is perfect. We got these lows here being established. Low right there. So as you guys can see, we're getting higher lows, right? So price comes up, pulls back, higher low, goes back up, pulls back, higher low. And it's kind of like a staircase, right? It's like a staircase going to the upside so that when it finally does break up to the upside, I can take that for a buy. So I do want this to close with, you know, some sort of sell signal so that the following signal will be a buy signal. All right, looks solid. All right, there goes the invalid sell, which is cool. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's valid or valid. I'm still looking for a buy here. My bias is still a buy. So look at the stock index right here. It's pretty much still green. United Health, like a lot of these stocks here kind of died down a bit. Home Depot is up like 10 points. Now it's only up 8. Nike's now down 1 point. Microsoft's down 3 points. Salesforce is down 7 points. So looking at that there, I mean, the average is still pretty high. It's up 400 points. Looking at retail sentiment, currently 52% short. So we got 2 lows here that have been, or 1 pending, 1 established. If we get a sell entry, I'm not going to take it. Maybe wait for the next one to appear. All right, let's see. All right. So looking at this right here, price is currently going into, so you can see if you like look at this from a bird's eye, if you take this off, you can kind of see that it's in a bigger range, right? The range might look huge right here, but it's similar to right here, right? Like for example, this range right here looks small, but if you go back in time to 630, look how big that range looked. It was a huge range, right? So that's why you guys got to kind of draw things up, because eventually this range here looks huge, but it's actually, it might be small if we have some bigger moves to the upside. So we'll see what happens here. Let me see how big this range was actually. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I think if a range is like below 1,000 pips, or yeah, 1,000 pips seems pretty solid, or even less than that. Yeah, anything below 1,000 pips could be a pretty good range. Looking over here, this range is like more than 1,000 pips. So I'm looking for the smaller range here, right? This is kind of too big of a range compared to this one down here, but you can see that like it's a big difference. Like this over here looked huge at the time, but it's actually pretty small. This range over here is kind of big. What might happen is this range over, so this has been broken. We're gonna move this low a little lower to down here. Oops, let me fix that. All right, so the low here has been established, or has been broken. This is now the new low, and this is going to be the high over here. Our price just broke it, which is fine. What I'm looking for is a tighter range, because this range here is too big. So, like I mentioned earlier, this range is over 1,000 pips. Usually, you want to look for like under 1,000 pips. So the thing is, if the range gets tighter right here, which will probably happen. So if we count this low, this would be a solid range, right? Within that area. So if price keeps bouncing around this area, it'll create a pretty decent range, and then we can wait for that breakout to happen after it. Oh man, it's just gonna be a matter of time. It's just being patient, waiting. And it's hard for me to be patient because I want to enter some trades already. But I'm just gonna wait. So if you guys have questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep waiting for this pattern to fill itself. So there we go. If price stays within this area, then that will be the new range. However, no guarantee it's gonna stay in that area. All right, so if it stays between here, the range is going to be about 600 pips. There it goes. Price touched it, and it broke above it. All right, so we'll just gotta wait a little longer. It's still trying to push around this area, which is completely fine, because if it still stays within this area right here, this is still below 1,000 pips. So if the range stays within this area here, this is still fine. This is a decent range. This range right here is too wide, and this range from up here to down here is too wide as well. What I'm gonna do from this point is I'll just change this to a different color, so that you guys can see that this is the wider range. This is pretty much the range for the day so far. All right, so this way you can kind of tell what's the bigger range and what's the smaller range within. Right over here. So I changed them to different colors so that you guys can see the difference between pretty much the full range from like the day. Oh man, if this closes above here, this is going to be an entry using the high low. Has a buy signal too. Arash is asking, do you think it's possible to go for, so one way to do that, Arash, is to do it yourself. Go and back test it, and then you can see, like, that's something that you can figure out on your own. We haven't really tested it for a one-on-one. You know, this is what we've been testing it with. We've been testing different ones. The one-on-one works sometimes, doesn't work always. So for me, you know, if it worked, I would have told you guys by now, but it doesn't work. So we haven't been using it. If you want to go figure it out, you can go back test it yourself, Raj. That's like the main way that you guys can think and find out for yourself, right? If it works properly, is to go back and test it yourself. Because the thing is, if I tell you guys it's not going to make a difference, you're still gonna be questioning it. So what I would recommend is if you guys have an idea, go back and back test it yourself. Once you figure out that it works, then you can bring it to the table and you can tell us, you know, hey, I figured this out. We can see if this works. And then I can test it for you. But I've tested pretty much the different R&Rs for the high-low scalps on the 1 minute, and we haven't found one that's solid just yet. So if I do find one, obviously I'll let you guys know. Right now, there's not one that works. But you know, if you want to see if it works, Rosh, you can go and do it yourself and just keep back testing it. Because I know you've been doing it without the indicators and you haven't had much luck. But you know, that's the reason why the indicators are important here. This right here would be a high-low entry. It's not one that I would take because it doesn't fit all the requirements here. I'll mark this up right here for whoever wants to take it. I'm not going to take it, but it would be an entry for a high-low right there, because it did break this high right here. However, it didn't have the buy signal, so it doesn't fit the requirements for these two strategies over here. So I'm not necessarily going to take it myself, but obviously you can see right there that it hit full TP. Yeah, like this is just for one strategy here. So this high-low entry right here, whoever wanted to take it could have taken it. I mark it up for you guys. It came back to entry point. It'd just be this strategy right here. But what I'm looking for is I'm looking for these strategies to line up with the intraday and the 1 minute pivot scalp. So I want all these three strategies to line up together before I take any of these entries here. You know, especially on a day like this, that's risky. But if you wanted to take the high-low, that'd be the high-low right there. Nice. Paul said, I took it, made 895, not full TP, but I'll take it and I'm done for the day. Yeah, nice work, Paul. So Paul made about 2,000 for the day almost. He took that first buy earlier. He made about 1,000. Then he took this buy right here, made 895. So really close to 2,000 for the day. So great work, Paul. As you guys can see, the strategies still work perfectly fine. It's just, it's a personal decision by myself to not take these riskier trades. But yeah, you can see right there, price kind of consolidated a bit within this area. So it's the same pattern that we looked at earlier, right? Bullish move, consolidation. Once it broke outside of it, it continued to a bullish move right there. So there you go. There goes one entry right there for whoever caught it. Great work. Me personally, I'm just waiting for one of these to come up. It's going to come up eventually. It's just a matter of time. It comes up maybe once, you know, 1 to 3 times a day. And those are the trades that I normally take. So I'm just waiting for it to come up. It's going to come up eventually. It's just a matter of time before it comes up. But this is like me not following into these trades, even though they'd be good trades. I'm not going to FOMO into it. So this has been invalidated. I'm going to close this. And now we're going to look for the next high. So there we go there. And guys, you know, I always get people complaining that they get mad that I tell you guys the trade is risky. Look, if you guys want to take risky trades, then take it, but just don't complain when you guys lose a trade, because I do recommend when they are risky, and I do recommend when they're not risky. So if I'm not taking the trade, I'm finding it risky. If I'm taking the trade, then obviously it's a good trade. You know, it's all about discipline, finding those good trades and just sticking to those. Because the thing is, if you just win almost, like if you guys saw my trades for like the past, I don't know, X amount of weeks, you know, I only take like last week, we took 3 trades for the entire week. Monday, we took 2 trades, and then Friday, we took 1 trade, all wins, right? No losses. They still add up to wins at the end of the week, and then at the end of the month, even better. Like November was actually a pretty good month for us. I did see a lot of people, not in K2, but I've seen people in other groups who blew accounts because they were taking risky trades. Your luck can only run so far until it starts to run out and you go into a downward spiral into losing trades. So, what I always advise you guys is quality over quantity. Like I'm taking like 1 or 3 trades a day or even a week, but they're not losing. So I still end the week in profit. So that's something that you guys probably want to work on if you guys have issues with like revenge trading or consistency. Because it's not necessarily finding the good trade all the time. It's avoiding the bad trades a lot of the times as well. That's probably my main thing. Like you can see that we have a lot of good trades here that come up, but the thing is I'm always avoiding the bad trades, and that's key there because that's going to take a toll on your confidence and your trade psychology if you start losing trades. Other than that, let me see if there's anything else here. Let's see, Dell over here sent some profits as well. Dell's currently up 540 for the day. Nice work, Dell. Looks like he's done for that. Rick said, I just lost 2K. Don't have FOMO over me. Right? No, I agree. Other than that, let's see. Sisuk over here locking a total of 5,052. Nice work, Sisuk. Paul over here locking about nearly 2,000, like we mentioned earlier. So nice work, Paul. Yeah, if you guys have more profits to send over, go ahead and send them over. D over here waited for those buys, locking the total of 700 for the day. Nice work, D. Yeah, D took the entry first and followed by the high low entry. Nice. She caught both of them right there. Looking over here at Maddie. Maddie said these profit differences are ridiculous. So on Maddie's FTMO, he's up nearly 1,000 off this account. His other FTMO, he's up about 1,000 on that account as well. But then his MFF, he's only up 261. Damn. So it looks like the spreads are really bad on MFF right now. Or I don't know if it's the spreads or I don't know what it could be, but the profit difference is like huge between his FTMO and his MFF. And these are taking the same exact trades. So this is why I haven't recommended MFF to you guys yet, because I don't trust them yet as, as legitimate. I wouldn't say legitimate, but not as a good funding company just yet. Because these spreads are crazy. If you could compare them both, this is 1,000 and 200 right here. That's like 800 difference between these two different funding companies right there. So other than that, let's go to Maria real quick. See, Maria just passed her FTMO. Big congrats to Maria over here. So she just passed her, or she did a trial. So nice work right there, Maria. No matter whether it's a trial or your challenge or you're funded, this is just confirmation that what you're doing here works. So great work right there, Maria. You're probably ready for the real thing now. So another person passing their FTMO this week. Every week we have at least a handful of people who pass their FTMOs or MFFs or whatever funding company they're doing. So great work right there, Maria. Off that. All right, so we got this high that's been established right there. And this is why I don't chase the moves, guys, because if you guys chase the moves, you might get caught in this consolidation. So price broke above. Here, I'll just show you again what we're looking at here. So price was consolidating. It broke up to the upside. Consolidation again. Broke up to the upside. Consolidation again. Broke up to the upside. And then consolidation again. So this is why you guys don't want to get caught in these consolidation phases, because at this point, price can easily just come right back down. Right? So this is why you should never chase the trade and never FOMO into anything. You want to definitely wait for those perfect entries to come up, because last thing you want to do is enter these trades when they're not necessarily good trades. All right, so right here, we currently have price now into a very tight consolidation, actually. It's a tight range right now. Let's see. This range is only about 400 pips. It's not a big range at all. So price is probably gonna break out of this at some point, which is, it's fine. If it does, then it's cool. let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so price breaks above here with the buy signal, then this would be another entry off of the, this would actually be a good entry, one that I would take. Because if we get a buy signal that closes above here, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is already established as the high. If price closes above here with the buy signal, it's going to qualify as an entry for all three strategies. So hopefully the trade that I've been waiting for is finally going to come up. Yeah, I'll be waiting. So I'm sticking on this chart, guys. If you guys have questions, I'm probably going to stick on this chart for now. If it's dealing with this specific strategy or anything here on the 1 minute, then I'll take a look. But I think my main focus right now is going to be on this chart because I'm waiting for this to break above here and close with a buy signal. I got everything set up over here as well. All right. All right, let me check the fundamentals. I'm pretty sure fundamentals are still very bullish. Yeah, the 579 points in the green. Looking at the stock index over here. Still very green for the most part. There's only 2 stocks there that are red. IG sentiment only 53% short. Perfect. All right, this low got pushed down a little lower. So it's not going to be below here. All right. So yeah, looking at this point right here, price is currently currently ranging between that point. Let's see, Donnie said, just to be clear, we're waiting for a candle to break and close above the high, or are we just waiting for the first candle to close above? Sorry, Donnie, let me reread your question. Just to be clear, waiting for the candle to break and close above the high, or are we just waiting? Donnie, your question is kind of confusing because if it closes above the high, so your first part is asking if it needs to break and close above the high. And then your second part was if we're just waiting for it to close. If it closes above the high, it would still break and close. So both of your questions are for the same thing. You're asking whether it has to break and close. That's your first part. And the second part is if it closes above the high, it still breaks and closes. So it'd be the same thing. But yeah, we're basically waiting for it to close above there. But I'm looking for a buy signal too. So I'm not just looking for it to close above. I'm looking for it to close with a buy signal like this right here, so that it would qualify as an entry for the high-low scalp. It'd also be an entry for the pivot scalp because it'd be a buy signal above the pivots. And then lastly, it'd be an entry for the intraday because it would be a buy signal, and we'd also have a green trend meter right here. So it's pretty much 3 strategies line up on one single candle. And it just gives us like that full confidence that price is going to push up X amount to hit the TP. Oh gosh, yeah, okay, no. So I kind of figured that was what you were talking about too, Donnie, because that would make a lot more sense. We're looking for that buy signal. So I'm personally looking for the buy signal. You guys don't have to look for what I'm looking for. If you guys feel confident with, with the trade just being one strategy, which would be the high-low scalp, then that's perfectly fine. You guys can take it. Me personally, I don't like losing any trades, so I like waiting for those perfect, like those spot on entries. Here's a buy signal right here. It would need to close above here though for me to take it. For me personally, take it. You guys don't have to trade the way I'm doing. If you guys are okay with taking riskier trades, that's completely fine. But you guys got to accept the risk with those specific trades there. So let's see if it closes above here. I will take it. If it doesn't close above it, I'm not going to take it. All right, so it's not closing above there just yet. Yeah, we got 20 seconds left on this candle. It's cool. I would prefer if it doesn't close because I'm waiting for it to actually have that buy signal and have it close above that high. Yeah, no, you're cool, Donnie. I know it's a little confusing sometimes if you're looking at so many different things at once. All right, so no entry off that. That's perfectly fine. I kind of wanted to push up a bit higher anyways. So I wanted to kind of slide its way to the upside so that when it finally breaks above, it'll be a decent enough candle for it to confirm. So let's just wait here and continue to wait. Nice, yeah. So Maddie and his brother Charles, both Maddie and Charles both hit the variation right there. Yeah, the variation was right here. So if you guys remember the variation strategy, basically we had a low here that was established. This candle right here rejected right off it. And then this would have been a move right there for a full TP. Yeah, and that would have been a perfect entry. So I wish I would have taken that with you guys. But yeah, variation right there, full TP. So guys, just a reminder, today we have the mentoring session. I think, let me check the poll for last night. Yeah, so 62% of you guys voted for the mentoring session today. So we'll have the mentoring session today at 2 o'clock. So once I get off this live session, I'll be taking a quick break and I'll come back live at 2 o'clock for the mentoring session. During the mentoring session, if you guys want me to go over the variation, I can go over it. But definitely great work right there, Maddie and Charles, who caught the variation at that point. It's not going to be an official strategy because we're still working on it, but it's going to be, it's definitely going to be one of the ones that a lot of you guys have been wanting to learn. So, all right, we got this right here. If this closes above here, above this line right here, then we'll have an entry for a buy, which you can see it still hasn't closed yet. We got 10 seconds left on this candle. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. No entry off that right there. We got another pending buy there, which is completely fine. So you can see that price it's a pretty clear consolidation phase at this point, which is fine. It's just a matter of time until it finally breaks above. I'm really hoping we get that entry there because we've been watching this for a while. All right, so if it closes above here, then we'll have an entry for the for all these 3 strategies right here. We got about 15 seconds left on this candle, and it doesn't look like it's gonna close above. Nope. Damn, there goes our trade we were waiting for. So no entry off them, delete that. All right, so the high's been broken here. So this has been validated. This is now going to be the new high. It's pending right now though, so just keep that in mind. It's currently pending. Yeah, it's trash. So now it's I mean, obviously you can see that it's still there. It's just been broken. So unfortunately, there's gonna be no entry at that point. This would be a variation right here, but it's not one that I would take. I'm not looking to take any sells at this point. Yeah, that sucks. I was getting ready for that buy and didn't even close. It just broke it and then it came right back down. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend taking any variations for sells. I would take variations for buys, but variation for sells are kind of risky because the fundamentals are just way too strong right now. Currently up 600 points. That's just way too high. All right, so let's see if there's anything else over here real quick. Nice. Yeah, Maddie, hopefully you got out of that. Hopefully you got in and out pretty quick. All right, so it's 7:30 right now. If you guys have questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we'll keep looking for trades here. But if you guys do have questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. The market is kind of going to a deeper consolidation at this point now. So we'll probably see a push for a bit sideways. This wouldn't be an entry. I mean, it would be an entry for a pivot scalp and intraday, but it wouldn't be an entry for the high low. So even if it does close above it, it's not one that I would take. So I'm looking for these specific entries in the market right now. Looking at the 3-minute, there hasn't been any 3-minute entries this entire morning. Same with the 10-minute over here. There's actually another snipe here that was available that we completely overlooked. It was the 630 candle. So the same candle that we were looking at earlier when I drew these zones, it provided for a snipe entry. If you guys remember from earlier, if you guys want to go and rewind the replay later, we identified these 3 snipes that hit full TP. There was one here. There was one right here. And then a third one right here. So 3 back-to-back snipe entries right there. And then one right here when I was drawing those zones. So we completely overlooked it, but that would have been another full TP right there off the snipe. Actually a huge TP right there. But I wouldn't have taken it because it was like on the opening candle. So as you guys can see, these strategies still work perfectly fine. It's just for me, I'm being extra careful. If you guys don't want to be as careful as me, everything that came up today hit like full TP. This hit full TP off the snipe. There's 3 snipes there that hit full TP. The 1 minute over here, there was a couple different, yeah, like this one right here, right? I completely skipped this one right here because it didn't fit my requirements. However, if you took the trade right there, that would have been a full TP too. So as you guys can see, these strategies all work perfectly fine. It's just me personally being extra careful about these trades. So depending on how risky you guys want to be, you guys can apply whatever strategy you guys want to apply. And, you know, obviously they're here working perfectly fine. It's just me being a bit careful. Yeah, Joshua just messaged me too. Joshua said, I didn't take any positions this morning, being careful from now on. I see you in the morning, bro. Definitely, Joshua. So we'll see you tomorrow. You know, it's a matter of being careful, guys. It's a matter of understanding your discipline and understanding, you know, what type of trade you want to take. Scott's asking, is mentoring session today at 2 p.m. Pacific? That is correct. Yeah, Scott. So I will be there with you guys at 2 p.m. today. So it's 7 o'clock right now. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So in about 7 hours, I'll be back online for the mentoring session tonight, later this afternoon. So yeah, I will be online with you guys tomorrow or later today. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, definitely, Scott, no problem. Other than that, you can see that this range here is just, I mean, it's just ranging for the most part. There's no different highs or lows that have been established. Let's move this back over here, or we can move it a little higher actually. So what you guys could be expecting at this point is a breakout to follow, because you can see that it's gone into the consolidation phase and it's pretty obvious, right? It might not break out right away. What might happen is it might fake out. So this is why you guys want to be a little bit careful, because what could happen here is price might fake out, come up slightly, come right back down, and then break below here and then actually drop, right? So this is why you guys want to be very careful. This is why I don't like bringing up a lot of these topics to you guys regarding consolidation, because what happens is people wait for that small little break to the outside, right? They wait for that little break to the outside. And what happens at that point? If you see a small little breakout to the outside, what happens is you guys enter that for a buy, and then it fakes you out and comes right back in, right? So you guys want to be careful when you guys are entering these trades here. Make sure that you're following an actual strategy, because what happens is I teach you guys something new and you guys try to run with it. Like before you guys even you guys forget about all the strategies. And what happens is you see one little thing here, because I'm telling you guys that a breakout is going to happen, which is, it's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen. But the thing is, you don't want to get caught in the fake out, because basically, you know, you guys cut a lot of corners, not everyone, but there's like certain people who cut a lot of corners where they see one small entry here and then they just try to hop right in. When in that case, if price just pushes out a little higher, what could happen is the range just gets wider, right? That's usually what could happen. Price just gets wider and then the range just gets wider before it actually does break out. So You guys want to be very, very careful if you guys are deciding to enter anything here without actually following through with any of the strategies. So it doesn't matter if you guys are applying anything else, but just make sure that your strategy, whether it be K2 or not, your strategy lines up before you enter a trade. Because I could already tell, I can tell there's like a handful of people here who are coming up with their own strategy right now and saying, oh, I learned this from Sean, where like usually breaks out from this point. So you guys are waiting for that small little breakout to close to the outside. Like this right here, right? So price is currently pushing to the outside right here. And this isn't an entry for any of the strategies because this low right here has already been broken. So this isn't even a valid low. I could already picture some people here waiting for this to close and they're waiting to enter this for a short, right? I can already tell there's like, and look, price is probably going to shoot right back up into the zone, into the consolidation zone. And this is why you guys can't be entering trades right away. You got to wait for the full confirmation. And there you go. Exactly what I just warned you guys about is exactly what happened. It faked people out to close outside, and then now it's coming right back in. It can drop, but yeah, so Maddie said it's a variation. Yeah, so if it closes right there and it doesn't drop any lower, then this would technically be a variation for the for a buy. Right over there. Yeah, let's see if it actually closes. Pretty solid. We got about 10 seconds left on this. See if it closes. And variations aren't ones that I recommend you guys take unless you guys absolutely know what you're doing, right? Don't just take trades just because. You gotta make sure that you actually know what you're doing. I actually took that variation. I don't want you guys to take it because I knew it was a risky trade, but I did take that variation right there for a small profit. I'm not gonna post that as a win for you, like for the day, because I didn't tell you guys to take this trade, but me and Maddie are looking for variations here. So that was actually a variation right there. Really nice, Maddie. Thanks for bringing that. Well, I was watching it too. Ken took it too. So some of you guys here who understand the variation, we'll take it, right? And we're taking this at our own risk because that's like one of the very risky strategies here. So a lot of you guys actually took it. So you guys will see sometimes that I mute my screen because I don't want you guys to hear the click on my screen when I take these trades here. Because I knew it was going to happen. It's just, it's just me wanting to take the risk because like I said, guys, I get FOMO sometimes. And sometimes I just hop into these trades. So I made a decent profit off that. I made 1,000. It was just 100 pips. But it's not, obviously it's not going to be one that we count for the results because it's not a strategy that I told you. It's not a trade that I mentioned that I was going to take and that I was advising you guys to take. Because the last thing I want to do is take risky trades and then you guys get upset that I told you guys to take a risky trade, or not that I told you guys, but that you guys thought it was an official trade. So no, great work amongst everyone here who actually caught it. Yeah, so Maddie caught it, Randy caught it, Søren caught it, Sam caught it. A lot of you guys caught it here for the variation. So yeah, if you guys want to see that variation, we'll discuss it in a live session later. The only reason I took the variation here is because the fundamentals are very strong for a buy, and I kind of just FOMO'd in, right? Like I said earlier, guys, I FOMO into these trades sometimes, but this was a FOMO where like I kind of had a feeling it was going to go up because I just explained to you guys that fake out, right? Like this fake out right here. I literally right before this happened, I was like, price might close below here, but don't take the sell or the buy, whether it closes above or below, because it's probably going to swing right back into the zone, which it did. So my analysis that I just warned you guys about did exactly what we anticipated. Plus it qualified for a variation. So I was like, man, why not take it? So small profit off that, congrats to whoever caught it. If you guys didn't catch it, it's fine. That was a very risky trade. It's not one that I would normally take, but I was just itching to take a trade, man. It's Monday. Like it's Monday. I need one trade to kick me off for the week just to get me going. And I got it. So cheers to you guys. Man, you guys have been doing way better than me though for the day. I only took one trade. I have about 1,000 in profit. Maddie over here is like well over 1,000. So Maddie just took that damn, this is his MFF too. So right here is the trade that he took, that buy variation. He locked in a total of 1,227. Here's his FTMO. He's currently at 1,478 off that right there. And then his other FTMO currently up 1,538. Nice work, Maddie. So all across the board, nice profits. Other than that, all right, Josh, I'll catch you tomorrow. So great work amongst everyone here, for whoever caught these profits, whoever caught that trade there. But, like I mentioned, it is a risky trade, so it's not one that I wanted to emphasize. All right, so price moved a little higher. This is currently the pending high, but no entry off that just yet. So the high just keeps getting pushed higher and higher right here. Yeah, exactly. So Maddie said bounce off the pivots and lined up with fundamentals, so it was a solid variation. I agree with you 100%, Maddie. There was a lot of confirmations off that one trade that made me want to take it. There was a variation. Fundamentals were strong for a buy. We had a rejection off the pivot and the low. So with that said, I was definitely anticipating to push up higher. Probably could have caught it for a bigger move, but it's all good. Profit's profit. All right. So right here is the new pending high, but you guys can see here that price is still ranging, right? So I just want to make sure that you guys understand that price is still in consolidation. However, it did push up to a higher high right there, but it's still consolidating. The range just got wider. So if you guys have questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we'll be back for the mentoring session later. So if you guys don't get your questions answered now, it's probably going to be best to be saved for the mentoring session later so that I can be more in detail with you guys. Because right now during the live session, it's kind of hard for me to be real thorough with your answers because we're looking for trades, obviously. But later for the mentoring session, it'll definitely be helpful for all you guys to get your questions. Nice. My uncle is killing it right now with the options market. He bought puts on Lucid at 50. Actually, I don't have options, but I have stocks in Lucid. Let me see how my stocks are doing. Lucid is like another electric company that should be blowing up. Damn, I'm freaking down for the day. What are you talking about? Well, it's for the day. For the open PL, I'm currently up like 100%. So down 10% for the day, but overall P&L it's up 100%. So it's no big deal. It'll come back up. All right, let's see. Anything else right here? Sorry guys, I'm getting a ton of messages right now. Everyone's like, yo, the market's crazy today. Yeah, it is. Cool. All right, so going back to the charts over here, no snipes available. The daily over here would be a sell, but I wouldn't recommend taking it. Technically, the daily might be good because if it comes up like in a couple hours, it might be setting up for the market reversal. So like, for example, here, this is the opening push, and then the mid-market reversal around here at 10. If it comes over here for a sell signal, it might drop, far enough for you to hit a TP off that. But I wouldn't take it. I never trade against the trend like that. It's just too risky. This right here would be a sell for the 3-minute daily, but I wouldn't have taken it because it's against the trend, right? Just like I mentioned earlier, guys, I wouldn't take any trades that go against the trend like this, especially when the trend, or not the trend, but the fundamentals, because the fundamentals are so strong. They're up 553 points, 562 points. It's way too strong for me to want to even think about taking anything like that. So I wouldn't take that there. Going back to the 1-minute, price is still ranging within this area. See, currently we have 1, 2, 3. So 3 candles after this one. We need 2 more candles to establish that low. And then once we have that, we can see it push to the, to the upside. And then we'd probably have an entry using the high-low scalp along with these 2 right here. So Kenny's asking, how do we get K2 stocks? We don't have K2 stocks anymore. That's been discontinued, Kenny. That was actually one of the free groups that was run by Felix, one of our other members here in K2. Felix has been kind of busy lately. He had some surgery a couple years ago, or not a couple years ago, a couple months ago. He was trying to get it up and running again, but and he's still recovering from his surgery. So we don't have K2 stocks anymore. I don't think we're going to have K2 stocks at any point anymore. What was that? Ken said what he said. Oh, JK. Yeah, no, if you guys have been in K2 for a while, you guys probably know Felix. He was like a little kid, not a little kid, but he's a lot younger than a lot of us here. I think Felix was like 13 when he joined K2 a while back. So basically, Felix was like a kid that joined K2 and asked me if I could mentor him, and I mentored him. And then he was really good at stocks, so he just took over. He ran the stocks page, but then he got in. If you guys have been in K2, you guys know exactly who Felix is. But yeah, he's just been on and off the charts. He's busy with school because he's still a kid, so he's in school still. So yeah, we just don't have anybody running the stocks page anymore. It was a free group. It's just like the options group. So if you guys are in the options group, that's a free group as well. Options group is free and the stocks group is free as well. Yeah, C6, it stonks. Yeah, I should probably catch up with Felix, see how he's doing. Mauricio said Lucid Motors subpoenaed by the SEC, shares plunged. Oh, so that's why it came down, Mauricio. Gotcha. I wonder what happened. Let me just check. I'm gonna take a look real quick. Lucid SEC. Gotcha. Yeah, shares of EV startup Lucid tank on SEC probe. Lucid said it received a subpoena on Friday. Oh, this actually just came up right now. Dang, you're quick with that, Mauricio. Mauricio literally like brought it up right now, and it just came up on the 30 minutes ago, I guess. We just missed it, but yeah, they're pretty much. It looks like the SEC is pretty much probing all of the new, like Nikola, right? Nikola has been. I mean, Nikola had it coming, but Lucid is just one of the companies as well. I think Lucid should be fine though. I don't think they're because a lot of their push to the upside, there was a reason behind it, because they're going to start to release their retail, their card of retailers. So that pushed it up. I don't think there was anything shady going on in the background. But yeah, there's a couple companies here that got investigated by the SEC, includes Nikola, Canoe, and Lordstown Motors. So I think I'm gonna hold on to my stock, but no, that makes a lot of sense why it dropped today. Thanks, Mauricio, for bringing that up, because I had no idea. All right, back to the charts over here. You guys can see the chart's pretty dead, pretty much for US 30. Man, it's got me thinking now. I'm like, man, should I sell my Lucid? Because I'm already up 100 points, but damn, this thing's starting to drop pretty heavy now that that news came out. Nah, I'm gonna hold on to it. I mean, I'm pretty much all in profit at this point. If I get back to break even or somewhere around there, it's still okay because I didn't lose anything off that stock. I've just been holding it for like a couple months. I bought it in September before they released the retail news, like regards to producing it for retailers, or not retailers, but the retail consumers. And I just held on to it. So I've been holding on to it for September, October, November. It's about about 2 or 3 months, which is not bad. 2 or 3 months, 100% gain. Not bad at all. All right, other than that, let's see if there's anything else here. So guys, I'm still looking at US 30 here. Nothing's really happened. Looking for it to probably close above here. If it does close above here, I'm not going to take the entry. It's going to be a high-low scalp, but it's not going to fit these requirements because the buy signal happened down here. So what I would be looking for is and it actually broke right there. So we'll see if it closes above. Otherwise, if not, looks like I'll be getting off live soon. If you guys have questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat right now. Otherwise, I'll be back for the mentoring session in a couple hours. So I'm not going to be gone for too long. I'll be back. Looking at this right here, nothing here. So price actually broke above it, but did not close. So the high just gets higher. See this range. Range is currently up, or it's ranging about 600 pips right now. Not super wide, but let's see. Kenny's asking if I would take this buy here. I personally wouldn't take it, Kenny, because it's currently in a range here as well on the 3-minute. So you know how price is ranging on the 1-minute? It's still ranging on the 3-minute as well. So I personally wouldn't take it because I don't know if it's going to push up that high. You know, it's probably going to keep bouncing around this area. So I wouldn't take the buy right there off the 3-minute. Let's see. Henry said, you mentioned a buy signal in the last trade. If it closes above the high low, would you take the buy? I wouldn't, Henry, because there's no buy signal there. So in order for me to take it, I would need a buy signal to close above here. The buy signal is down here, so it's impossible for there to be another buy signal. There would need to be a sell signal before there can be another buy. So, and it wouldn't matter because if it closes above here, Henry, there's no entry. Because this high already over here has already been, it's already been broken, right? So it's been invalidated at this point. When it broke this point, there's a new high here that's now being established right here. So even if price was to close above any of these points here, there's no entry available. So I would not take any of the, if price does break above here, I wouldn't take it because it would need to establish this as a high. In order for it to be established, there needs to be 5 candles after it, following this first requirement right here. Confirm the previous swing high and low and swing low. 5 candles must pass to establish. So there's a high right here, but it hasn't been established yet. You need 5 candles after it for it to be established as the high. And then once 5 candles pass, then you can catch it as it swings above. Then if it closes above there, then you can take it for a buy. But currently right now, there's nothing that is necessarily available at this moment. All right, other than that, let's see. So price is still within a range here. This is now the new low, but I'm not going to take any sells. Fundamentals are still very strong for a buy. Yeah, it's still up 574 points. So I'm not looking to take any sells right now. So yeah, no entry off the 3-minute. I wouldn't take that there, and no entry off the 1-minute right now either. It's 6:37 right now. So if you guys do have any other questions, you know, feel free to drop all your questions right now. Otherwise, you guys can come right back to the mentoring session a little later today, and then we can discuss this further. I already know we're gonna have a lot of questions regarding the variation. So, you know, if you guys want to find out more about the variation, we'll go over that. And I think I'll be going over all of the other strategies as well. So I'll be going over the, sorry, Gal, you keep drawing on the screen. Let me try to take the thing off again. Let me delete this. All right, let me change this to mouse there. So you should be good. I wonder if there's a way to lock this. Let me see if I just lock the screen somehow. Oh, okay, there. Never mind, guys, I fixed it. There's an option here that says disable annotation for others. Okay, so people can't annotate anymore. All right, we're good. All right, other than that, guys, I think that's it for this session. Unless you guys have any other questions, you know, I'll be back online in a couple hours for the next, for the group mentoring session. So around then, I'll try to keep note of like stuff to cover. You know, I think this will be a good session. I think you guys should definitely make the effort to attend this session because I will be going over this strategy in detail, the high-low scalp, because I know this is one that a lot of people like to apply. I'll also go over the reason and, you know, the breakdown of like why I'm applying all three at the same time, because, you know, the market conditions change pretty consistently throughout the year and during the seasons. during the summer and winter, I usually like to apply these right here, these three, or not just these three, but whatever three strategies that you guys can find that applies. And during the fall, that's usually where I would take, the more riskier trades. The spring and the fall, because volatility is very high, it's easier to catch trades during those times. So it just really depends during the season that you're trading in, because market moves in seasons, and how risky you're looking to trade. So as you can see right here, price starting to push up pretty heavily. It's still pushing up to where we anticipated. This might be the confirmation of the bullish move actually at this point. I'm not going to chase it. I'm going to wait and see how it moves. But you guys can see that it finally broke outside of this range and then it pushed up to the upside. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it for this live session. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me or message me on Telegram. Otherwise, I'll be back in a couple hours for the mentoring session. I'll give you guys an update in the group and confirm that we're having that mentoring session today at 2. Otherwise, I think that's it for now. If you guys do decide to continue trading, I would recommend just be a bit careful, because you're probably going to get a lot of fake outs. The thing is, a lot of people are looking for the same thing we're looking for here, right? A lot of people are looking for this breakout to the upside, and you just want to confirm that it's actually pushing to the upside before you enter the trade. You guys don't want to just enter the trade right away and then have it come right back down into this range, which could happen. So other than that, guys, if you guys do decide to trade, make sure to always use proper risk and to protect your positions whenever possible, meaning move your stop loss and profit to guarantee your profits if you do get into any nasty positions. Otherwise, we'll be back for the mentoring session in a couple hours, and I'll see you guys then. So if you guys have questions, reach out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in a couple hours. So have a great rest of your morning, guys.